Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Crypto markets have been down for much of the last 48 hours, with some people panicking, as is the usual in instances like this. Folks, it doesn't make sense to be afraid in these instances. We've already had a couple big ones this year, right? Relatively speaking, I'd say after the launch of the spot Bitcoin ETFs on January, I believe it was January 10th, market was down for much of the next couple weeks, people panicking. Then you remember very recent, within the last few weeks, after hitting new all-time highs, Bitcoin cratered, quote-unquote cratered, on down to, what, about $60,000? And then moved back to the upside. Just a couple days ago, it was above 71,000. Just got as low as the upper 64,000s. This stuff is normal. Crypto is doing what it does, but we're not seeing indicators that the top of the market is in, not even close. And we're going to share with you perspective from a number of analysts indicating as much, as well as perspective from one of the most reputable and accurate analysts in the entire world of crypto, who says that XRP looks primed. And, it's one thing to look at the XRP USD chart, which I understand why people prefer to look at that. It's more fun to see what XRP is worth in dollars, or if you're not using the dollar, you're a different part of the world, whatever the fiat currency of choice is. I understand that. But what's more exciting right now is the XRP BTC chart, and I'm going to give you an update of that because it is looking fantastic at this point. So perhaps the analyst that said, close to a month ago, yeah, this is pretty much where, in all likelihood, they're not guaranteed, where in all likelihood XRP's bottom is in against Bitcoin, that's been holding to this point. Despite these pullbacks, XRP has been outperforming Bitcoin over the last couple days. And I got the chart to prove it. It's good to see. You love to see it. And so there's this expectation that XRP at this point is going to be outperforming Bitcoin as long as we don't see some sort of massive dump to the downside. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, as I record this video, it is 7:14 p.m. Central Time, Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. XRP is 58.8 cents. Got as low as 58.1 cents over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin at $65,643. Got as low as $64,741. Here we have the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, which I need to refresh because I loaded it before the update, which occurs just once every 24 hours. It occurs at 7 p.m. Central Time, my time zone. So let's hit refresh and see where it is. And there you go, it's lower. It was at 79 out of 100. Now it is at 71 out of 100. So the market says not extreme greed now, but we are still in greed. It's funny when you can get a notable move to the downside like we've seen the last couple days, and we're still greedy. You love to see it, actually. Here's a post from Sentiment, on-chain analytics firm. Fantastic work they put out here. And just a couple hours or so ago, they wrote the following. Is crypto still in a bull market after Bitcoin's plus 144% price return since October 15th? Well, according to the crowd, the belief has fizzled out significantly. Historically, less long-term optimism increases the probability of a continued market rise. Yep, that sounds right. And to anybody that's new to markets and new to crypto specifically, that is counterintuitive. You'd think, wait a minute, the people are down. Well, yeah, the market's garbage. It's just going to keep you doing it. No. They're lemming retailers, the speculators out there, and they are wrong-footed consistently. Whatever the masses think, it's wrong. And it doesn't mean that they're wrong right away. So like if you see the market extremely bullish, yes, the market can be propelled to the upside, overbought for long periods of time, but ultimately something's going to break. And so that is what you see at the top side. Even after you see a major, what would be maybe a notable correction call to the downside at the tops of markets, that's when you don't see as much fear. There's too much cockiness out there at those points. We are not seeing that. We are seeing the exact opposite, which is what you would actually want to see if you want the market to go higher, right? It's just normal human behavior. Here's a post from Wrecked Capital. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still in the pre-acceleration phase, which is the green circle right here. And so you can see it comparing back to other moments in time, back to 2012, when Bitcoin has just rocketed. So you can see there was accumulation phase. But then the most fun part of the bull market was yet to be had. And you can see out of the four circles, three of them well in the past, we've seen this movie before. He's just notating this is the moment in time we are now. So the fact that Bitcoin has pulled back a little bit yet again, very normal for crypto. And this time is not different, folks. This time is different. Famous last words. So, yeah, I'm absolutely of the mindset we're going to have continued mania, even though it's not going to go up perfectly in a straight line. This is not a time to be fearful. The market is, on the whole, is still strong. Here's a post from chart analyst Jelly, who wrote, while everyone runs for the exits, Bitcoin is quietly forming a bullish pennant right on top of the weekly support level. It has a target of $80,000. Bounce here, and we're off to the races. Here's a post from chart analyst Blunts, and he wrote, no upwicks on the weekly, monthly, or quarterly candles. We're going to run it back so hard once enough of the degens get flushed out. That's right. Once you get enough of the players maybe speculating a little bit too hard, going a little too hard in the paint, you know what happens. If this is the environment we're in, and it's a bullish environment, then yes, that is what is most probable. In fact, with a very high level of probability, we're ultimately going to see much higher, much more impressive price action. We are not near the top. Here's a post from chart analyst Matthew Highland. Bitcoin weekly currently back below support. However, weekly close over 5 days away, so how it closes is more important. If it were to close back below support, then it would increase likelihood of a longer consolidation. We await Sunday to choose. Yeah, and just a little bit later in the video, I'm going to show you some posts having specifically to do with XRP, where we're at right now, the levels to watch for, and frankly hoping that XRP is a little bit higher by the time the weekly close comes around than it is now. And there's a reason to believe that there's a pretty damn good chance that's exactly what's going to happen. Here's a post from chart analyst Ali Martinez. The 200 EMA on the Bitcoin 4-hour chart has been formidable support. Since early February, it has prevented Bitcoin from dropping further. For this reason, I'm paying close attention to this level because if it holds, it guarantees a rebound. But if it breaks, as it did in mid-January, it could lead to more losses for Bitcoin. Okay, so I'll just say this, and this is what I keep seeing from pretty much every analyst that has spoken along these lines on this concept as of late. Even if there is a further move to the downside, and that's a question mark, we'll find out together, nobody knows for sure, that doesn't change higher time frame structure, meaning big picture, what's going to be happening for the remainder of this market cycle. Doesn't change a thing. But you get pullbacks along the way. Every single cycle this has happened. Big pullbacks, much bigger than what we've seen frequently. For this market cycle. Here's a post from chart analyst Ereg Crypto talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin new all-time high in April or May. Update. March 2017 saw a 32% drop for Bitcoin. And I'll just pause to note he's got previous cycles labeled as cycle A, B, C, and then this would be the one that we're in now, cycle D. And so he says again, March 2017 saw a 32% drop for Bitcoin. If cycle D, this one, repeats this trend, we might hit $50,000. But keep in mind, after that dump, a kaboom came. So I don't know if we're going to hit $50,000. When it comes to crypto, I tend to say never unless somebody's in absolute Looney Tunes land. It certainly could happen. I don't know if that's what's probable here. But we've seen stuff like that before, and I certainly suppose that he's likely correct. Even if it did go that low, massive move to the upside. The cycle is... We're not near the end phases of this thing, folks. We just aren't. Here's a post from chart analyst Credible Crypto, and he posted this last night, at 9:50 p.m., and you can see that's when the dump happened. So here's the 24-hour Bitcoin chart. You can see, so that's 9:45, 5 minutes before he posted, so he had a tiny move to the upside compared to that 5 minutes later at 9:50. So he noted, I mean, if you got human eyes, look at the screen, you can see that's the most notable dump down within the last 24 hours in terms of speed with which it occurred. And it looks the same on the XRP chart, by the way. Here's the 24-hour XRP chart. I mean, flipping back and forth between these two charts, you can see they're highly correlated, very obviously. It's just that in terms of, percent decreases, Bitcoin's not doing us out. Bitcoin down 5.84% over the last 24 hours. XRP down only 3.78%. And I'll show you that on the XRP BTC chart in just a little bit. But anyway, so that was the moment in time when Credible Crypto wrote the post on your screen, which I'll read to you right now, 9:50 p.m. last night. All we have done here with this push down is test the two logical levels of support that I discussed in my latest video update from this morning. Nothing to be freaking out about. And then he shared another update. This one was at 2:38 p.m. today, so just a few hours ago. It's the Bitcoin price chart on your screen there, and he wrote the following. Cleaned up the chart a bit to try and make things a bit more clear. What you should take away from this is that we are within a range in the midst of a strong bull trend. Within this range, we have had a break in bearish market structure on the daily and are now retesting that area of demand. Meaning, this is the most likely point of reversal if we are going to make a new high. If we lose this zone, sure, bring on the range lows at $59,000. But for now, bias is bullish by default. And folks, I'll just pause to say this is be clear. When you're in this environment, betting against a bullish market is a foolish move. Whether you're talking about equities markets or you're talking about crypto, you're going to have a bad time. Even if in the short term it looks like you're having a good time doing that, watch the rest of the cycle play out. You'll see that you actually had a pretty bad time. You will become a sad panda. You don't want to be a sad panda out there. And then he says, with that being said, since this key zone / pivot / demand is being tested now, if we do visit it in the future, it's likely to get blown through. Hence, why a new local high that can't sustain momentum is so dangerous, as a failure at the highs after testing this daily demand likely leads to a move back down to the range lows. I've talked about why this makes sense from a structural point of view in my last video update, and we can watch for signs of weakness / danger at the highs if / when that time comes. But for now, your takeaway should be, if we are going to see continuation up, it should happen from here. Okay, and so not an incredibly high level of certainty in terms of what happens in the short term, but again, it don't matter because what's going to happen on a higher time frame, throughout the rest of this bull cycle, it changes nothing. It's just you got to understand, if you're afraid, crypto markets right now moving down like this are doing what crypto markets you should expect crypto markets to do. It's been doing this since inception, even in bull markets. You should expect this to occur. So then when what you should expect to occur does indeed occur, does it make logical sense to be fearful? No. So if you're feeling fearful, I would recommend that you let the logic side of this kick in and be like, oh yeah, this is why people get completely wrecked. Because not only do they feel emotions, they make important financial decisions based on the feels. Here's another post from chart analyst Credible Crypto talking about XRP and Bitcoin. And assuming Bitcoin does hold here, XRP looks primed to make a nice move to the upside. Also back in our support zone on XRP BTC, which supports the idea of XRP outperformance if Bitcoin can hold here. And so it's been interesting, even as the market's been moving down, XRP has been outperforming Bitcoin. But look, Credible Crypto's been talking about this for a long time. I mean, like for weeks and weeks. And he's been saying to watch the XRP BTC chart for months, right? But in particular, in the last few weeks, he's been saying, yeah, this is probably a pretty reasonable moment to suppose that XRP is going to be outperforming here. And here's a post from chart analyst Crypto Insight UK. He says, I have recently been mocked for my thoughts on XRP versus Bitcoin. And this is an XRP BTC chart on your screen. He says, however, so far throughout this whole flush down in crypto, XRP versus Bitcoin holds strong, failing to set a new low and ranging for 37 days, all whilst XRP FUD hits a maximum. I have been looking for a higher low and would suggest we are basing here. Could we wick into the launch pad? Maybe. However, some bullish price action and our weekly RSI turns bullish. I expect when Bitcoin comes back firing, it'll be time to shine for XRP. And I'll just note, I'm seeing lots of analysts share similar takes on this. And so here's the latest XRP BTC chart. This is the 1 month chart. And so where I'm circling here, March 11th, XRP BTC low. And this was the time when I shared it at the time. Tons of analysts independently coming to roughly the same conclusion that this is probably the bottom. And they articulated their reasons why. And we have not hit that low, that big of a disparity between XRP and Bitcoin since that point in time. I mean, it's almost been a month at this point. And you can see actually over the last couple days, as the market started tanking, XRP's been moving up against Bitcoin. That's what I was talking about earlier in the video. Because yes, the whole market's going down, but Bitcoin's going down to a greater degree. So then when it comes back, if Credible Crypto is correct, you're going to see XRP substantially outperform. And of course, be reasonable to suppose that you're also going to see a fun uptick, in XRP priced against the dollar as well. Here's a post from Cryptolica, XRP/total market cap. So here's XRP price against the entire crypto asset class. And he's been sharing charts like this recently. And you can just see, I mean, historically, that's why this is the moment in time. Historically, what has happened? Go back to 2017, go back to 2021, those bull markets. When XRP looked this bad against the rest of the crypto asset class, that was the moment right before it went. And so this is more or less that moment. You don't know the exact day that'll come out to when it finally goes, whoosh. But it's similar concept to pricing XRP against Bitcoin, which is why it's worth looking at that chart. Here's a post from Chart Analyst Cryptos, and he said, this is just XRP USD chart. Most significant level for XRP in the past 6 years is 60 cents. Our patience is being tested indeed, but we are holding weekly candles above that level. Price also still above the weekly 21 moving average. So watching for 60 cents, and again, now at the time I'm recording this, XRP 58.3 cents. So below that, but it's Tuesday. So weekly close Sunday. And so here's a post from Ereg Crypto, and I think he was talking about the weekly in this one. So XRP price chart here, USD, XRP Fib 382, major support. XRP will never close below Fib 382 on a weekly time frame. And I'll just pause to note, that is 59.69 cents. So we're below it right now, but he said on a weekly time frame. It's just Tuesday. So anyway, then he says, wicking on 4-hour daily is possible, but it has no impact on the long-term trajectory and strength of XRP. Next target, Fib 702 to 786. So you'd be looking at, and what that would be in terms of dollars, it would be $1.10 per XRP to $1.30 per XRP. And I know there are so many people out there that say, never going to happen, I'm being a negative Nancy. Yeah, well, I get that. You're quite the Debbie Downer, got it. Debbie, Nancy, whatever, strong American names. I don't think that I don't think that the sentiment makes sense. You hear stuff like that in these types of moments where people start to feel emotionally that beaten down. But in terms of the idea of will XRP ever be above $1 or hit a new all-time high? To me, that's what seems to be the most probable. I just don't pretend to know when it's going to happen, but this stuff plays out over very long periods of time. In fact, over many, many, many years. That is not weird. That's normal. And then he says next major pit stop would be Fib 1618, which would be $6.40. 1.618, which is again $6.40. It's conservative stuff here, I'd say. I think that's super conservative and realistic. I'd be surprised if that were the height of XRP price action, but I'm not a chart guy, so I'm not going to make an actual prediction. If that were, and he's not saying that's the high. I'm just saying if it were to be the high, that's so conservative that I'd be a bit shocked by that. Unless we're not going to have a full-blown alt season, unless some sort of black swan event happens, and then I say, okay, but then that's not XRP specific. So sit tight because the best is yet ahead. Makes no sense to be afraid here. I am very excited for the future. This is going to be this has been a very fun, fantastic year so far. It's only going to trend to the upside, only going to get better. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!